It's day one of the 21-day national lockdown. Never in the history of the nation has such a huge population been restricted to their homes for such a long time. But today, lakhs are respecting the Lakshman Rekha drawn by Prime Minister last night. Many states even found a jugaad for social distancing. However, there are a few who are jeopardizing the entire exercise. A time when we should be united in our fight against COVID, there are a few violators who are targeting our lifelines. They are attacking people who are at the front line of the war, those who are ensuring proper implementation of the national lockdown. From doctors to the police, our fighters are being targeted for doing their job. The big question is, do you expect to win this war against corona if things continue like this? All right, let's go right across to our guests who are joining us for more on the story. We have with us Aman Gupta, co-founder and managing partner of SPAG, who's joining us from Skype. With us also is Dr. V.K. Batra, who is an MD at MNAMS and consultant of internal medicine, joining us from the national capital. Nupur Dhakephalkar, founder and chief clinical psychologist, is with us from Pune as well. Thank you all for joining us. Let me begin with a doctor on the panel. Dr. Batra, the kind of responses that we are seeing. Yesterday we saw a situation, of course, the government to intervened immediately. We just saw the Delhi chief minister also talk about that. Both the centre and state have acted. But this kind of immediate, mentality where those people who are actually the emergency services who are working at this point of time, whether it is the police, whether it is doctors, actually attacking those individuals, this is something that requires an entire mindset to change. And certainly the Prime Minister also addressing that issue when he spoke earlier this evening. Dr. Batra.
Yeah, hi, Madhav. A very important question and very important issue that you raised. I think whenever we have the government coming to the rescue of the public, as the Prime Minister very humbly put it, he folded his hands and he said, "But I beg of you, because it's not for me, it is for you and your family." I think the least we expect is from the public at large. From the public, who are the persons, who are the people who are going to be affected by this kind of a calamity? If they do not cooperate, that is the first thing. They have to cooperate. Very nicely it has been put by all the media agencies to 24 hours in the day. And of course, the politicians, the administrators, they have come out with the kind of packages for the public. I'm sure the public has to respond very positively. Otherwise, everything is a failure. They have to cooperate, they have to be tolerant, and they have to understand what kind of a thing we are facing.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, let me take that question across to Aman Gupta as well. Aman Gupta, the question is this, that, people are providing essential services. If there are going to be citizens who actually are going to come in the way, whether they are delivery boys, whether they are policemen, whether they are, those who are engaging in those essential services, if this is the manner in which they are treated, of course, thankfully, in the case of at least the delivery services, I understand that local state administrations have now granted them permissions. But this would really become a major roadblock in actually taking on COVID-19.
Exactly, Madhav. Thanks for asking this question. As we correctly know that while the intent to do the lockdown is correct, it is something which could really help us get out of the situation which we have. This is a kind of a pandemic which has never been seen in the past, so it needs a very different approach, and our Prime Minister has taken the right step. Having said that, I think the intent to action is also very important. There are multiple stakeholders who are part of this command chain, and especially in the essential services. We as a healthcare communication firm work with a lot of pharmaceutical, medical devices and other companies. And we do know that there are problems in the supply chain. There are issues where local authorities do not really have a clarity on what's possible, what's not possible. And we have seen that whenever we have challenges like this, one of the key element which needs to be looked into by the authorities is to ensure that there is a clear communication, it's unambiguous, it's simple enough, and it's sort of trickled down to all the implementers, apart from the fact that, yes, the public at large also needs to play its role.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, I can take the question across to Nupur as well. Nupur, now you're a psychologist. If you look at the mentality of the person, that lady, she claims to be a patient. But just look at what this lady in Kolkata did. I mean, this is, of course, another scene in Bengaluru where citizens are attacking cops, and rather shocking over there. Yeah, this is the scene I'm talking about. Her cab is stopped by the cops, and then she goes and smears her bodily fluids on the uniform of a policeman who stops her, ostensibly to give him the infection that she is carrying. You know, what kind of mindset are we looking at with people, you know, who are behaving? I mean, I don't know what kind of words we can use to condemn this kind of absolutely shocking behavior.
Yes. What is happening is really disturbing right now. And all of us are really disturbed with what's happening, and it's the most natural thing that's going to happen. What we can see here is more of a behavior that has some amount of fear in the background. Just like how people do not want to go for tests or do not want to be quarantined and do not want to be stopped or accused of having some sort of a disease which can be transmitted, which also is part of this huge pandemic. So it seems like there's a lot of fear that is being manifested as aggressive behavior.
Well, absolutely. Fear manifesting in this aggressive behavior, but really, can this be acceptable? Do we as a nation want to stand up and defeat the coronavirus as one citizenry, given the fact that there's a 3-week lockdown that is currently on? I request all of you to stay on with us. We're slipping into a quick break, but we'll continue with this discussion in just a few moments.